This is Past Perfect. Conversations on vintage living in a modern world.
You know, I asked to have my birthday party at a furniture store.
Today's guest is the proprietor of the popular Instagram account Homes with Max.
There are no happy endings on my page.
Swelling. You look very nice, Max.
Thank you.
So we're here today with Max Natanek, and Max has an Instagram channel called Homes with Max, and he does some pretty amazing stuff on there. He profiles time capsule real estate, and it's such fun to go through all the listings that he does. So, Max, what fed your fascination for vintage and retro interiors?
Well, a strict media diet of almost exclusively Turner Classic Movies on in the background certainly helped. I was early on in my life exposed to anti-mame, which pretty much gave me the template of what I wanted my life to look like. And I also was taken every weekend to estate sales.
Estate sales?
Yes.
So this is in the Chicago area, right?
Great place for estate sailing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Yes.
I love Chicago, and Chicago has such a great history of architecture.
Yes. Actually, I was originally thinking I was going to be an architect. I went to school for architecture for a long time. I even got my master's.
Wow.
And surprise, surprise, I started covering old homes instead.
That's great. Well, you have some insider knowledge in those old homes because of your training. Yeah. What is it that you particularly appreciate about them?
Well, I love to see a building that has survived all these years almost unchanged. That's my favorite. Frozen in time, time capsules.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so evocative of a different, I'm saying very boring generic things. Honestly, I just have always been inexplicably drawn to old things and places and wanted to, I don't know, I want to experience that in my own life, you know? So I try to seek out wherever they are, like a truffle pig.
I feel the exact same way
Yes.
about vintage and retro. And you know, these conversations that I'm going to be having with people, I really want to dig into why that is.
I'd love to understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can share it with my therapist.
What feelings does it bring up in you?
It's almost it is a bittersweet feeling, like, oh my God, look, it's here. It's still all complete. And I know that it is temporary, especially the houses that I cover. Mm-hmm. There are no happy endings on my page.
Aww.
It is very ephemeral. I find a beautiful place, and months later it will be knocked down or renovated beyond recognition.
Yeah.
It's almost like temporary art in that way, you know? We all get to witness it one last time before it goes. Mm-hmm. You know, give it a proper send-off. And now to say something very pretentious, I consider it my job as a digital archivist, you know? These spaces are not celebrated. The vernacular in architecture and decor is not celebrated enough, in my opinion, at all. And I am one of very few voices online who is taking the time to document them, to appreciate them. Because, you know, there are pages like mine that are the negative version, where people are making fun of these houses, and it just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I think things have a soul, you know?
I agree. And they are representative of the time and the people who lived back then and the choices that they made. And I think it's a good thing to honor those choices that people made. Even if we find them funny, we can find them funny in a...
Yeah, I have an appreciation for camp and kitsch, you know?
Yeah.
Of course. Do you know the work of Richard Nickel?
Richard Nickel, I don't think I know him.
He is a great architectural photographer from the 50s and 60s. It was during the time of urban renewal, when everything was being knocked down. And he would go into these old spaces about to be demolished and just photograph them, take video. And because of him, we have all these elaborate records. He actually died tragically doing what he loved. A chandelier fell on him at the Chicago Board of Trade building.
What a way to die.
You can still see the chandelier at the Art Institute if you want to see it.
Wow. So he was in Chicago?
He was in Chicago-based. And, again, pretentious, I consider myself a modern-day Richard Nickel with these spaces, you know?
Yeah. You know, there's a film that I saw on YouTube about the neighborhood that Angel's Flight was in. Do you know Angel's Flight?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So it's the neighborhood that was in, and how that was demolished. All of those Victorian houses were demolished, and Angel's Flight was actually moved for this new development of modern skyscrapers in the 1960s. And it's such an interesting sort of bittersweet film about these people who had lived there for so many years, walking these streets as things were changing.
That's another reason I love old movies. They capture a time and a place so perfectly. That was actually one of the topics of my diploma that I covered. I became obsessed with this movie called Los Olvidados. It's a Mexican realist film from, I believe, 1950. And it captures the last dying gasps of this neighborhood right before it was turned into this ultra-modernist development named Nonoalco Tlatelolco. I love things. I love seeing things as I even go on Google Maps sometimes and just go back as far as I can, which is usually 2007 or 8. And I'll just spend a whole evening doing that.
That's really interesting. I love that. That's a kind of a great thing to do, because you can see history in that way, and look back at what Google was photographing. And it's not that long ago, but it's fun to see what was there. It's like what you said about movies is very true. There's the exterior scenes from West Side Story were shot in the neighborhood they demolished to create Lincoln Center.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and so all of those exteriors are shot on in this neighborhood of tenements that were all abandoned at that time because they were about to be demolished, and they used it as a set for those exteriors. And there's also the McKittrick Hotel in Hitchcock's Vertigo. The hotel that Madeline goes into was torn down after they shot there. Not immediately, but after. It's no longer there.
See, it's stuff like this that makes me absolutely unbearable to watch a movie with. Because I'll be watching any of these old movies with my boyfriend just nudging like, you know what that was?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way. So yeah, for me, there's a sense of comfort.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, comfort of childhood. And I think that's a testament to my upbringing, because I was raised in such a way that my childhood provided me with good memories. I'm not sure that everyone has good memories of their childhood, and maybe they reject the past on that basis for some reason.
Maybe I'm biased as someone who didn't live through it. I feel like you got to live through the best childhood design era you possibly could. I don't see what I can be nostalgic of. I grew up in the early 2000s, and who knows, maybe in 10 years I'll be very nostalgic for like Tuscan and like faux finishes. Anything's possible, I guess.
Well, you know that the ones who come up after you will find that stuff like catnip.
Oh, I know. That there'll be some version of me in the future in whatever form Instagram takes, and Hollow Mind or whatever.
Yeah, right. Because there are people that sort of love all of the eras. I mean, you kind of profile all different periods. I am fascinated by many different periods in the 20th century and sort of the tension between them. But there are people who are very, very specific about the period of time that they're interested in. And so I was thinking it'd be fun to give names to them. And I was thinking that as we move forward, there are going to be people who are interested in the aughts, and we should call them otters.
Do you know what's terrifying? I know one of them. I already know an otter.
Oh, okay.
I am currently dating an otter. He calls it Lizzie McGuire Decor.
Okay.
And it almost works with some of my like kitschier late 60s stuff that I have. So I'm okay with it, but I do find that so fascinating. And he's just 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go.
They're out there.
They're totally
the otters.
Out there. The otters, right. So how would you describe your personal style for interior? I don't think we've seen your apartment on your...
Get ready.
Okay, good. I like that.
All right. So right now, my main inspiration that I've worked with is Joan Crawford's last apartment. And it's all these gorgeous yellow, golds, oranges, and greens that have been slowly over the process of 3 years curating. It's been 3 years since I lived on my own in a place that I could actually decorate. And it's all starting to come together. So I'm going to say November 1st because that's when his roommate moves out. Get ready to see some big developments.
Okay, I like that.
My personal style is very mid-century inspired. But as you mentioned, I started off being pretty strictly only into stuff in the 50s and 60s, but slowly but surely other things have creeped in. I even have a few like postmodern stuff going on now. So eclectic mix.
Okay. I just love honing in on one year.
You mentioned, so we are currently in 1974, right?
That's right. Yeah, this apartment is very 1974. My first apartment, the first redo of my first apartment, which was a rental, by the way. We were talking earlier about rentals versus owned. It was like 1960. 62, something like that. It was all in shades of blue and green, and I had my grandparents' Herman Miller daybed.
Oh, gorgeous!
And a Lane coffee table I got at a thrift
I'm
shop.
certain I've seen pictures of you on that daybed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was around 1960, and I wanted it to feel like a movie set. Then I redid the apartment. Sort of more 1968 in all hot pink and orange, and then this apartment is 1974.
So you're slowly moving up the years.
I am, and actually I'm slowly moving up the years in the style of clothing that I wear too.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I started out, Brini's parameters were sort of 1954 to 1974. And now she's sort of 1968 to 1987.
Wow.
I know.
Such growth.
I know.
Will we ever get an 80s Ben Sander apartment?
That's a good question, because I've been thinking about that. You know that rubber flooring with the dots on it? I want to do that somewhere.
I feel like you could do something gorgeous and like that palette.
Yeah, no, I love that. That sort of modern urban loft kind of thing. Sort of. I'm less interested in the traditional periods of the 80s. They just seem too contemporary to me. But that modern stuff from that, all those time capsules you feature with the great Formica interiors.
I always call them cocaine palaces.
Yeah. Exactly, that's what they're like. You are going to profile another apartment while you're here in town.
I am.
Too. So tell me about that one.
So, like you, he has chosen a year. It is the year 1977. He is going for a kitschy look, very dark woods, yellows, and I am so excited to see. He has done such a good job with it. He's even gotten the appliances. He found true vintage wallpaper.
I love that. Yeah. So I definitely want you to make an introduction.
Absolutely.
So I want to meet him. I've looked at the images, and I think that the difference between us, I've been thinking about this because I was so impressed with what he did with his apartment. I think the difference between us is that what he does is a real home, and what I attempt to do anyway is like a magazine layout.
You say a magazine layout. This seems pretty livable to me.
Well, livable, yes. Yeah. But it's like, it's styled and it's sort of not what you would actually see if you walked into someone's home of the time, because it's a little bit over the top. But what he's done is he's created, and I can understand why. Yes, exactly. And I can understand why, because he's a set decorator, right?
I believe I think he's an art director. Yes.
Yeah, art director. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that he's done such a great job with his apartment. Definitely want to meet him. What were some of your influences growing up? What things did you find at those estate sales that you loved?
Well, when we were talking earlier about how it's hard to find things that you grew up with nostalgic unless you had a good childhood, I found out quickly that all the things I was interested in were things that my mother thought were hideous.
Well, it's the same thing with my parents.
Yeah. I was obsessed with the idea of getting one of those huge statement lamps. I was begging for it as like an 8-year-old.
Like a 60s,
for my parents to let me get one of those huge lamps. And they finally relented. This one that is currently in my apartment to this day.
Yeah.
This big, almost nuclear silo-shaped, like, gorgeous thing. And they really should have guessed immediately I was deeply homosexual from that very moment. But, like, I just got so giddy about things at estate sales. You know, I asked to have my birthday party at a furniture store.
Oh my God, that is brilliant.
Thank God they said no. But yeah, I wanted to have it at Marshall Fields. I just love furniture and design.
Now, did they have model rooms at the time?
They did.
There you go.
They did. And I will say, it is one that they did not update very frequently. So there were rooms up there that looked like they had been there since the early 90s.
I love that.
It was a suburban location.
Yeah.
RIP, tore it down last year. But I want to recreate that as an adult now. I'm going to invite all my friends to like a Walter E. Smythe or something.
Such a great idea. You know, they found the location of the back rooms. Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah. Isn't it in like
furniture
Georgia or
store.
something?
Isn't that funny?
See, that just shows I'd have a great time in the back rooms.
I know, right?
Yeah.
A lamp that you still own.
Oh, I got so far off track from the question. That's the fun thing about talking to me. So I was always attracted to the big lamps. I loved linens, which is something that me and my mom have been able to bond over. Anything that looks embroidered from like the 60s or the 50s, I love those. Any kind of bold print. I am also someone who now is on my 8th set of china.
Oh, yeah.
And they tried to get me to consolidate it during this move, and I refused.
Do you entertain?
Not enough to justify it, but yes.
Yeah, I know that's the thing, is that I have all of these hostess items. I have beautiful linens. I have a set of Emilio Pucci dishes from the 60s.
Oh,
and then
you have to show me those.
I will. And then I have a great set of Serromano dishes from Germany that are my everyday dishes. And then I've got all of these ridiculous appliances that you entertain with. And like
I can't resist a small appliance.
I know, right? And that's another thing from the 60s and 70s. That's one of the things that I really love about the 60s and 70s was the optimism of the times made people take risks.
I think that is exactly it, risk-taking. People are not taking any risk. The concept of resale value fills me with rage, truly.
No, I know. Yeah, so it's risks in color, risks in making appliances that do one function and are just ridiculous in that function that they do. I just love that stuff. It's silly and irreverent and just got a lot of joy and whimsy in it.
Joy and whimsy is something that is so missing in interiors right now. I love that about old houses. You ever go, as I said, I go to a lot of estate sales. Sometimes I just walk into a place and at the risk of sounding like a hippie, just feel a wonderful energy about it. Like, I think the stuff helps, and I like bringing that home.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
When you go into a house that still has this sort of feel of the period, you get a sense of the time. That's the other thing that I like. It's like, that's what I am trying to do here, is create a sense of time travel. Yeah.
I feel, especially your kitchen. The stuff of fantasies, truly.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to show you pictures of my sad kitchen my new kitchen that I have. It's a faux marble on top of faux marble on top of another pattern of faux marble.
Yeah.
I don't even know when they renovated it, but not the fun kind of retro.
Oh, okay. What are you going to do to change it?
I'm planning on covering every inch that I possibly can in contact paper, vinyl wraps. I refuse to leave. I want no surface left uncovered in that room.
You should get vintage contact paper.
Oh, I got it. I'm ready. One of these days I'm going to have to show off my rolls collection. I have actually a lot of vintage contact paper that I've done next to nothing with.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I have the same thing with I have some contact paper, but I have a huge collection of vintage wallpaper that is sitting in storage and
waiting for its opportunity.
Yeah, when Thibault discontinued their wall murals, they sold off the extras on a site, and it was.
Is that where this comes from?
No, that's a photo mural. That's I think it's Scan Design is the name. The Thibault murals were like artwork that had been, sketches that had been colored, and they're beautiful. And so I just bought up a whole bunch of the ones that were being remaindered. So I have those, and I have all sorts of other
Oh, you really lucked out on the on timeline. Getting in time for the demise of World of Tile and Tableau.
Yeah. Oh, World of Tile. Yeah, that was fun. We were they were doing a liquidation at World of Tile, and I went there with the Prius that I share with my father, and every box of tile was $25.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
See, the tile in my kitchen on the floor in the backsplash had been bought earlier from there when they were still, in business, and that was $700 for that tile.
What a discount!
It's a good deal for that tile. I think it was 2 boxes maybe, and then when they were, liquidating. Every box was $25. I bought enough for 2 or 3 spec bathrooms and all sorts of other ridiculous things. I loaded up the car and bottomed out the suspension.
Oh, worth it.
There was so much. I had to drive home very slowly because I didn't have any shock absorbers.
You know the funny thing? I was a 13-year-old reading about the World of Tile closing and seeing everybody's hauls that they were getting and just burning with jealousy. So just know that when you were doing that, I was watching.
Okay. What are the films that you find inspiring?
You are going to think I am sucking up to you. My very, very favorite movie is On a Clear Day You Can See Forever.
Oh, how funny.
And when you posted that, it felt like kismet.
So if you're not aware of this, I posted an Instagram reel of the fabric from Daisy Gamble's bedroom that I found on eBay, 14 yards of it for $35.
That's amazing, and I'm very jealous. I'm gonna do the whole, it was bad too, but I frankly want, I'm gonna need to see the fabric before I leave. I just need to see it with my own eye. But that is my very favorite movie. As I mentioned, Auntie Mame was very formative for me. I love What a Way to Go. All those old Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movies have amazing set design.
No, it's true. Yeah, it's beautiful films. I mean, the 30s was really the era of everything being made in a studio, so it was they built the entire environment for everything, including exteriors.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name. And it's shameful, I just did a video about him, about the main set designer for MGM during the 30s, Cecil Gibbons.
Oh, yeah. I've seen his name in the credits.
The way he is responsible for every interior that I have idolized as a child. And what about you? I'm actually so curious, what are your favorite movies?
Well, On a Clear Day is one of them. There's a range of films that I love. I was just thinking about the films of the 1940s that have some really wonderful interiors. Did you ever see the movie Leave Her to Heaven?
It sounds very familiar, but I may not have.
It's a movie about this woman who is obsessed with the men in her life, and to the point of killing people to keep them to herself.
I love it.
Yeah, fascinating. Anyway, there are some really nice interiors in that. There's a lodge that she goes to, and I like interiors that are sort of unusual in a way.
Me too.
I love the lodge in White Christmas is wonderful.
Oh, with that amazing fireplace.
Yes, and those enormous pillars. I love that.
That one does live in my head a lot.
Yeah.
And to go more modern, one of the first apartments that I dreamed of was the apartment from Ghost, which is now a period interior of its own.
I know, right? Yeah. If we're talking about films of the 60s, I love Pillow Talk.
Pillow Talk is a classic.
Yeah.
And the way she predicted the 70s when she redid Rock Hudson's apartment passive-aggressively.
Oh my God.
She was so ahead of her times.
I know. That was so 10 years later, right?
I know. They called it.
Yeah, exactly. So funny. There's a really bizarre movie. I can't remember the name of it. It's Tony Curtis and Claudia Cardinale. And it's about real estate speculation in Los Angeles.
Sounds promising.
And there's these characters have done a a house for a new development built into the hills of, one of those canyons in LA. And the house is amazing. This house falls down the hill in a rainstorm at the end, like tumbles. And there's an interior scene of everything sort of being, but it's a beautiful interior when they get it done.
Oh, if we're talking bizarre movies with amazing houses, may I strongly recommend Zabriskie Point if you haven't watched it.
Zabriskie Point.
Zabriskie Point. It's an experimental 1968 movie where they essentially build a fake Frank Lloyd Wright protege ranch in the middle of the desert. Gorgeous. All the interiors are done up to, and it ends with the whole thing artistically exploding to a Pink Floyd song for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's interesting. So
it's not a good movie. I want to say I have to do this so many times. People are like, I'm recommending this purely for the set design. Okay. Other than that, kind of a slog.
One of those things that you put on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No sound.
No sound. Which I do love watching a silent film for interiors, too.
Oh, no, it's great. So, speaking of interiors, it's interesting. If you watch television shows, when they do remodeling or redecorating, they're usually pretty awful. Like, there's an episode of The Odd Couple where Felix redecorates the apartment in sort of modern art and stuff like that. And it's pretty bad. But the exception to that rule is that episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show where Rhoda redoes Lou's home.
First of all, this interior design for the Mary Tyler Moore Show, because of that, my dream is to own a Victorian and covered in shag carpet, truly.
I know, right?
But I love that episode.
Yes.
I do.
And
I've seen out episodes where people redecorate.
It's artistically really sharp. Because most of the time, they just sort of take their existing set and slop things over the surface of it. But that's really beautiful. What about fashion? Do you have any interest in fashion?
You'll be shocked to hear that I was the runner-up for the best dressed of the Hinsdale Central class of 2014.
I'm not shocked to hear that.
I'm still very bitter about losing because the person who did it, Abercrombie every day, to be fair, it was the year that was trendy, but I used to wear a suit every day.
Oh, and okay.
I'm getting back into it, I think. I've felt the yearn of the tie again.
All right. That's good.
I mean, obviously you're a very well-dressed person. Your collection of vintage women's wear is insane. Do you store it all here?
It's all in that closet.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Do you also collect vintage menswear?
I do have some, and I make a lot of clothes too. I have a degree in fashion design, so.
I'm actually teaching myself to use a sewing machine currently.
Oh, okay.
And struggling my way through it, but I want to do it because I want to be able to wear vintage. I have a very strangely proportioned body.
Yeah.
Very Picasso-esque. So now with a sewing machine, I can actually fit into some of those things, hopefully.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, it's always good to pick up new skills.
Yeah.
So what are some of your other passions?
Some of my other passions. Well, this really is my main passion, and it consumes my life. Oh, now I'm going to look uninteresting. I think this is really it. Like, design it all falls under the umbrella of design for me. And I think if I try hard enough, I can make everything fall under that umbrella. Like, what is music if not design?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
What about you? What are your main passions outside of all this?
Well, everything sort of ties back to this in some way, shape, or form. It does. So, passions include fashion, right? Interiors, architecture, ephemera.
Oh, that is something that you and I love ephemera.
Yeah.
Ephemera, I recently, again, like I said, I just binge watched all of the Brini Maxwell show, your episode about collecting. I am a collector of pieces of buildings that have been torn down. I have no hesitation to go and save pieces of things that will be gone the next day. So I have a piece of the Paris Metro station that they destroyed, an old department store in Chicago, and I've started putting them all in shadow boxes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
And we did it. You'll see when you get to or if you haven't.
I have.
You've seen the construction episode where we made the shadow box
exactly.
with the fat pasta.
Yeah. And now I'm moving on, I think, to the next thing, and this is my prediction, cloches. I'm think glass cloches for me are going to be huge.
Oh yeah, they're great, and
Mhm.
they create such a nice visual sort of whatever you put under it gives it importance.
Exactly. And now I'm just sourcing those. So that's my next. I want to put all my little pieces of terrazzo that I have collected over the years into a little thing.
I love that.
It'll be cute.
Yeah, that's great. So one of the things that I like to do, we talked about
Yes.
picking a year. The way I used to put it was pick a year and stick to it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I find that gives an interior authenticity is using objects that time has left behind, like vintage telephones or appliances, because you'll see people do mid-century modern influenced interiors, but they have modern kitchens with marble countertops and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Always a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
But the flavor that the vintage objects that we no longer use bring to it, I think makes it really unique.
I agree.
So that's another thing that I'm sort of passionate about.
I get very passionate about actually using those things too. Using them again for like reviving them, you know? Like that blender that you and I both share. I think I used it for the first time that it's been used in probably decades. It was in a basement in Berwyn, you know, and it gave me such genuine pleasure to make a margarita in there.
Yeah, I use mine to make a protein shake every night.
Oh, how healthy.
And I would have been using the Newtone Food Center, but the blender jars on those freeze up.
Do they?
They do.
Oh.
So the bearings in them get, and then I've never been able to get it taken apart. I had 2 blender jars. One of them I just chucked because I didn't chuck it. I sent it to a thrift shop, but I got rid of it because it was impossible to use it, completely frozen. And then this one is stiff enough that I'm afraid I use it nightly. I'm afraid if I continue to use it, it will burn out the motor.
That's how I feel using all my tube things too.
You have tube appliances?
They will. I know one day they will burn out, and I don't know how I will replace them, but I roll that dice, you know.
What do you have with tubes?
Oh, my record player. I'm a huge collector of radios. I have.
Well, there you go. That's
about
passion.
12 of those. See, I think that's it. I think I forget everything I do the second somebody asks me about it. Great for an interview.
So, do you watch content about all of this stuff? What's your favorite content?
My favorite content, my own. Now, I watch so much about this. I recently got very into this creator who all they do is make old jelly mold recipes.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's very minimal, almost no words, mostly just jello jiggling, and I tell you it's addictive.
That's really funny.
Also that guy who restores fridges. I am the worst with names, so I'm not going to be able to name check any of these wonderful creators, but yeah.
Okay, well, send me their information when you find them, and I'll put them in the finished product.
And how about you? What kind of content are you consuming?
Well, what reminded me of this was I watched Techmoan. Do you know Techmoan?
I don't think I do.
He's British, and he talks about audio and visual equipment. A lot of it is vintage. Some of it is contemporary. And he talks about all of these dead audio formats, and he's got a huge collection of vintage audio formats and recorders and recordings, and it's fascinating.
I'm gonna have to check that. I love physical media.
Yeah. So Techmoan is one that I watch that I think is really interesting. Well, Violet.
Violet Sky, Sorina, all those people.
Right, do all of those retro vintage things. I find them great. They're Halsey and the Hi-Hats. Do you know them in San Francisco?
I don't, but I adore the name.
Yeah, they're a band, and Halsey is the lead singer, and she dresses anywhere from the 1930s to the 20s, 1950s. And she's great. She has a great style, and she mends all of her own vintage, and gorgeous stuff. Yeah, she's fun to follow. How did you get into doing content creation yourself?
Oh, well, So my family and friends got very bored of me sending them Zillow listings, and I frankly wasn't getting the response I needed from them. Because I don't get how people aren't excited by this kind of stuff, but most people very much are not. So I decided I was one of the last people on Facebook, probably. I went on to a group called Time Capsule Houses, found a community, and then I was one of the only people doing long write-ups about them. People started liking them, so I figured, why not start recording them? And the rest is history.
That's really fun. I love that. Is your Facebook different? To have a different name than your Instagram?
Oh, the Facebook is annoyingly Homes to the Max, my old name that I contractually had to change.
Oh, someone else had it?
No, unfortunately, I made a deal with the devil / the Homes.com corporation. And at the end, I found out that they technically owned the name Homes to the Max now. So okay, well, I guess I'll rebrand.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah,
no ill will to
name.
The Homes Corporation.
Yeah. All right.
Some ill will to the Homes Corporation.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I think it's great. What did you think of the apartment?
I love your apartment. I have seen a lot of your work online. I think I told you this in a DM, so I'm just going to quote myself. It expanded my mind the way acid is supposed to. Seeing what you did, and I never really thought of the concept of, I can make a new period interior. That was a thought that I had to realize.
Okay.
So being in this, it's really immersive. It's gorgeous. The colors are beautiful, and I'm very jealous of your kitchen.
Oh, well, thank you.
And the rest of it too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm particularly proud of that bathroom.
You should be, yes. Also, I might steal your idea for hiding a television.
Yeah, why not? I think it's a pretty good idea.
They're just so ugly.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of works. So, yeah. Well, Max, this has been just delightful.
Yes, it's so nice meeting you.
Yeah, thank you for coming to New York.
Thanks for having me.
Explore the wonders of the apartment. And, yeah. And I hope you have a great time with I Am Waffle.
Yes, and you know the funny thing? No idea what his real name is. That's going to be a fun revelation for me when I meet him this Sunday. Or
very good.
Wednesday. I told you before, I never know what day it is.
Yeah, exactly. All right, great. And you're going to come to Make It with Brini tomorrow night?
Yes, I am. I'm excited.
That's great. All right, well, thanks so much. This has been great. I want to thank you all for joining us and watching or listening, depending on what you're on. And so great.
Thank you.
Thank you. This has been Past Perfect. Tune in next time when our guest will be Kyle Supley, the Thing King.